Spotify having a bad week. So first off, investors were like, we're a little bit concerned that Neil Young and some other artists are pulling their songs off Spotify. You don't want to count on Joe Rogan spreading misinformation about COVID and racism and right-wing talking points. And he's been the biggest megaphone all of a sudden for white supremacist narratives and whatnot. Seems bad. Well, then the next thing you know, Spotify loses $4 billion in market value following Neil Young controversy. Oopsies. And of course, the entire stock market has gone down overall, but only 4%, and Spotify is down over 25%. I did read today, though, that they've gone back up 12%. So who knows? It might not have a lasting effect. The world is shit, so they're probably still going to get rewarded for all this shit and not actually hurt in any way from it. But I guess it finally got Joe Rogan's attention because Joe Rogan sort of apologized, but he didn't apologize for spreading false information. He didn't apologize for spreading things that are literally going to get people killed. And if you guys have been watching my Meet the Victim section, which I go over people that spread anti-vax memes on Facebook and then end up not getting vaccinated and dying of COVID, Joe Rogan is one of the main people they share. No doubt Joe Rogan is getting people killed, but did he apologize for that? No. He apologized to Spotify. Yeah. That's where his loyalties lie. Because they gave him $100 million. Here's his pseudo fucking apology.
Neil Young has removed his music from the platform of Spotify, and Joni Mitchell, and apparently some other people want to as well. I'm very sorry that they feel that way. I most certainly don't want that.
Well, then why do you almost primarily platform right-wingers? Yes, for every 10 right-wingers he platforms that are political, he platforms one lefty guy. This is how his critics get around it. He had Bernie on his show. Yeah, he had 20 people who just spread far-right talking points. And yeah, occasionally have a left-wing guy on there. But that's not equal time in any way. And he doesn't push back against the righties in any way like he does when he has somebody left on there. So this is a bullshit argument anyway, but keep going.
I'm a Neil Young fan. I've always been a Neil Young fan. I'll tell you a story at the end of this about that.
No one cares.
One of the things that Spotify wants to do that I agree with is that at the beginning of these controversial podcasts, like specifically ones about COVID, is to put a disclaimer and say that you should speak with your physician and that these people and the opinions that they express are contrary to the opinions of the consensus of experts.
Yeah. How can we do something without actually doing something? How can we not spend any money and do something effectual in any way, but still make it look like we care about the misinformation we're spreading? Like literally no one's going to click on it. No one's going to go and read any of the links you put in your warnings. This is nothing, which is why Joe Rogan approves of it, because he knows it's fucking nothing. But he has to pretend like he actually gives a shit about the people he's killing, because otherwise he is a ghoul.
Which I think is very important. Sure, have that on there. I'm very happy with that. Also, I think if there's anything that I've done that I could do better is have more experts with differing opinions right after I have the controversial ones.
Right. Why? Why would you have somebody like James Lindsay on there, who is the right-wing mouthpiece against critical race theory, but doesn't know shit a fucking about it? Instead of having him on there to spread white supremacist talking points, why wouldn't you just have the professors that write the CRT books or anybody who actually teaches the subject on there? You don't have to have people like him on there to begin with if you want to discuss these subjects. You could have the real experts on there. But not only did you not have the real experts on there, you had the right-wing talking points on there. It's not about equal time. You don't have to have a fucking propaganda piece of shit on there to talk about these subjects, Joe. You can actually have the experts on there.
I would most certainly be open to doing that.
And do it.
I would like to talk to some people that have differing opinions on those podcasts in the future. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see if I actually do anything about it. Probably not. I mean, I marinate myself in chud all day anyway and listening to pretty much only right-wing shitheads. So we'll see. But no promises, y'all.
You know, I do all the scheduling myself, and I don't always get it right.
Yeah.
These podcasts are very strange because they're just conversations. And oftentimes I have no idea what I'm going to talk about until
So you have the largest platform in the world, podcast-wise, and you don't feel any responsibility to prepare yourself? Like when you have these controversial doctors that have been debunked to shit and back, You didn't think before you had them on there to go watch a couple videos, people that debunk their shit, that have criticism, so that you could fire back with relevant criticism directly to them when they're on your show? No, I don't do any research. I just fly from the seat of my pants. Who gives a shit? Well, it has real world effect on people, because regardless of how many times you say, I'm just an idiot comedian, people do listen to you. They do follow your advice. They trust you, and they're misinformed because of you. So as the guy who has the largest podcast platform in the world, you have extreme responsibility to research this shit and do it right, Joe. With great power comes great responsibility. That's Uncle Ben from fucking Spider-Man, right?
So I want to thank Spotify for being so supportive during this time.
Thank you for the $100 million, Spotify, and not holding me accountable for anything. You're awesome.
And I'm very sorry that this is happening to them and that they're taking so much heat from it.
I'm sorry you guys gave me $100 million and then are taking heat from the fact that I'm killing people. Sorry to you, corporate overlords. My bad. So, yeah, there's a non-apology if I ever fucking heard one. So, here's the weird thing. The things Joe Rogan says in his apology don't seem to really mesh too well with the things he's actually saying on his podcast. I think Joe Rogan might need to talk to Joe Rogan.
The podcast has been accused of spreading dangerous misinformation.
If you're like 21 years old and you say to me, should I get vaccinated? I go, no.
I do not know if they're right. I don't know, because I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist.
Especially now when people are talking about actual microchips being injected into your arm to see if you have COVID-19.
I'm just a person who sits down and talks to people and has conversations with them.
Ivermectin alone, if properly utilized, is capable of driving this pathogen to extinction.
But I try to correct them.
So if you're in a high-risk area, you take it, and it'll protect you.
Again, I'm not trying to promote misinformation.
And they're trying to say that children need it when they don't. They don't need it.
So if I pissed you off, I'm sorry.
Yeah, if I got you killed, my bad. My bad, but I mean, you're dead, so you really can't hold it against me. Enjoy the oblivion there, dumb motherfuckers that listen to Joe Rogan. Just ridiculous. And more examples of how ridiculous Joe Rogan is. So these are kind of older clips, but they've gone re-viral recently, and I thought I'd share them with you because it's so fucking cringe and embarrassing for Joe Rogan. So you guys know what Bondo mystery apes are? I'll read it to you. Bondo mystery apes were names given in 2003 in a sensational report in the popular media to a purportedly new species of highly aggressive giant apes, supposedly inhabiting the wetlands and savanna around the village of Biley. The apes nest on the ground like gorillas, but they have a diet and features characteristic of chimpanzees, according to a 2003 National Geographic article. It soon turned out they were common chimpanzees and part of a larger continuous population stretching throughout that part of northern Congo. Genetic testing with non-nuclear DNA in 2003 immediately indicated that it was in fact part of the already described eastern chimpanzee, a subspecies of the common chimpanzee. So they did DNA testing and they figured out, hey, these things don't actually exist. They're just regular chimpanzees. So here's Joe Rogan screaming at a woman who studies apes for a fucking living, calling her an idiot, calling her names because she's trying to explain to him that he's wrong about this and doesn't know what he's talking about. Watch the arrogance of Joe Rogan. Watch how he doesn't actually give a shit. If he's talking to a fucking expert, he knows fucking everything. I'm not gonna play the whole clip, but just the beginning of it and then his conversation with her.
There's some crazy shit that they haven't even discovered yet. You know, just recently they found a new species of chimpanzee in the Congo. A gigantic chimpanzee that's over 6 feet tall. It's called the Bondo ape. The locals have two different names for chimpanzees. They have what they call the tree beaters and the lion killers. And the lion killers are these gigantic chimpanzees. They're like 6 feet tall. They get to be like 400 pounds. They sleep on the ground because they don't give a fuck.
So he going on and on and on about these special creepy ass apes, and then he has an expert on, and look how he treats the scientist.
Yeah, I'm a primatologist. There's no such thing as a Bondo ape.
You're a fucking idiot. Go online and look it up.
You're a what? What do you do?
It's a new discovery. You're a primatologist? Well, look it up. You're not current. Pay attention. Go online and look it up.
Yeah, this is student.
Yeah, you've learned some shit from the college. When did you graduate?
I have a PhD from
When
2000.
did you graduate? When?
From 2000.
Yeah, when was the last time you got online and researched primates? Have you ever looked at any of the new discoveries? Have you looked at any of Carl Ammann's work?
Yeah, I've been to Africa.
What are you laughing at? Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? I'll tell you why you're laughing, because you don't have a point. So you're trying to, oh, you're ridiculous. I have a PhD. Meanwhile, there's all sorts of photographs of this primate, this gigantic chimpanzee. Not only that, it's on National Geographic, stupid. NationalGeographic.com. CNN.com, stupid. No. There's bones, there's tissue samples, there's hair, there's fecal matter, there's all sorts of different things. Now, they've mapped the DNA of this animal already.
Oh, please.
What do you mean, oh, please, stupid? You haven't paid attention to it at all. These are legitimate scientists and primatologists that are in the Congo studying this thing. And you don't know. Yet you're calling up. You've done zero research on this. You haven't looked into it at all. You're telling me we know all the animals that are in the world? Are you telling me we know all the animals in this gigantic, several thousand-mile long, intense rainforest? We've mapped that out.
There's another fake chimpanzee out there.
No, it's not a fake, stupid. It's not a fake. Listen, they have skulls. Listen to me. They have skulls. They have hair. They have fecal samples.
Literally screaming at an expert in the subject that she's stupid when he's the one that knows what the fuck he's talking about. Just classic Joe Rogan. And I stumbled across this story from Hill Reporter that is the, I guess, online publication of the Midas Touch group, who puts out like anti-Republican videos and shit. And I noticed that they used a video that I personally clipped out in their story. They didn't give me credit for it, of course. If you look where it came from, boom, Dusty Smith. That's my clip. You guys stole my clip and didn't give me credit for it. But anyway, they wrote an article about, hey, Joe Rogan spreading coronavirus is the least of his problems. The real problem is his history of racism. And they shared this clip that I clipped out. It's only 30 seconds long. Let's watch it.
Planet of the Apes, man. We're going to go see Planet of the Apes. So I look on the iPhone app, and it says, okay, take me to this one. And the guy goes, okay. I go, is that in a good neighborhood? He's like, oh, yeah. Guy barely speaks English. He takes us there. We get out, and we're giggling. Oh, we're going to go see Planet of the Apes. We walk into Planet of the Apes. We walked into Africa, dude. We walked in the door, and there was no white people. There was no white people.
Joe Rogan just said black people are apes.
Yeah, he did. He did Alex Jones, and then you completely forgave him about it, never brought it up again, which you guys made up, because you're also a giant fucking piece of shit. And I was surprised they didn't share this video. Apparently they fucking missed this one of him explaining that black folks have different brains.
What are you?
Dad's black, mom's white. Standard issue, pretty much.
Powerful combination genetic-wise, right? You get the body of the black man, and then you get the mind of the white man all together in some strange combination. That doesn't, by the way, mean that black people don't have brains. It's a different brain. Don't get me wrong.
Don't get me wrong. Black folks have brains. It's just different. You're a different black brain, and you got the strong black mother and the strong white brain. Isn't that a great combination? Not in a racist way, though. Not in a racist way. How could anybody take this racistly, y'all? Oh, Joe. Yeah, it's an old clip. I know it's an old clip, but a little bit iffy there.